Welcome with Dr. Baptiste with 360 Degree, sponsored by American Caribbean Chamber of Commerce. Tonight's broadcast is very special, and the title for this special broadcast, as we all know, is COVID-19 Pandemic Series. But this series, it's something that's very special because it is a 60 minutes of Forgotten Nation, Haiti. Now, before we get into it, I want to use one of my favorite quotes by Nestor. And he says, the crisis give us the opportunity to practice our creativity, for it make us think outside the box. So when we look at what's going on, we have seen there's an enormity of challenge facing the world become clearer by days. So that's the importance of the Haitian government to seek outside support in order to provide for a population that is in dire need. So because of that, we have with us the nation minister of the Haitian diaspora, Honorable Day. So welcome, Honorable Day. Please explain to the audience a little bit about yourself before we go deep into our discussion tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Baptiste. I will say, good evening to everybody. And as you just said, Doctor, I'm the Minister of the Diaspora in Haiti. And I'm so glad to be with you guys to see exactly what we can do to help this nation, because we need people around the world to hear our voice, because the situation is very fragile here, and I'm going to try my best to explain to the audience exactly what's going on, what we are expecting from everybody here.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you. I appreciate that. And you are welcome. And I thank you for taking your time, to seek out help for your nation. And it is a dire time where the global community needs to come together. So in moving forward in what we want to discuss today, as our focus is on the Forgotten Nation, Haiti. So we understand the gross domestic product in Haiti was $10 billion for the whole nation for 2019, according to the World Bank projection. Now, in the light of all of this, how is the current situation for you to be able to help the nation, knowing that you only have $10 billion for a population, I think approximately 12 or more habitants? What is the precautionary measure, or you as governmental head working together to protect the nation of Haiti?
First thing I have to say, let's look at the situation first. Right now, we have 44 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Haiti. We have 498 suspected cases. And like I was telling you the other day, Dr. Baptiste, the most cases that we have is in the Western Department, which is where we have our capital, Port-au-Prince. And right now we have 325 suspected cases, and then we have 24 confirmed in the Western Department.
My God.
And also we have 3 confirmed dead around the country.
My God.
And if we are going to look about what people are saying, I'm talking about health professionals, specialists. They are saying that the peak of the COVID-19 we will be having that around like, the 20th of May. And from those projections, we are talking about like, around like, expecting between 6,000 to 70,000 deaths, from the 20th of May to the 20th of June.
My God.
So this is our situation right now.
Wow.
And well, as I was telling you the other day when we had this meeting, the population right now is around like 12 million people, and we have 2.5 million that are living in extreme poverty.
My God.
And after what I was saying before, when we're looking at the aftermath of COVID-19, maybe it will lead another 2.5 million into extreme poverty and anger. So we're talking about at least 5 million people who is going to be struggling between life and death.
My
This is
God.
exactly the situation right now.
Wow. Wow, this is a really dire emergency. I understand why, this is a 60 minutes, and I do understand your heart for, going all the way for your nation, because in the light of what you said, there's a lot of casualty. And not only that is a lot of casualty, but it's also the aftermath is also, tragically saddened, because of the fact that even though all of this may happen, but you still have to deal with other casualties just because of lack of resources for food, water, and shelter. My God. So what?
Yes, definitely. It's like,
My God.
the government is trying its best. And since March 19,
Mm-hmm.
we have taken critical measures so we can prevent the spread of the coronavirus here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But we have a curfew since March 19 that's began around 8 p.m. Till 6 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ministry of Health have put in place a center of communication.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to give vital information about the COVID-19. And
Mm-hmm.
we have the Ministry of Information, also the Communication Ministry, that has set up a channel so people can stay informed 24/7 about the evolution of the pandemic around the
Yes.
country. And
My God.
we are trying to apply all the global measures also, because it's a globally told, everybody knows that this is confinement, a mass a social distancing, and
Yes.
we have a massive public hand washing. Mask faces are like mandatory right now,
Mm-hmm.
and we're trying to follow, what the world are trying to do, because it's together that we can, break through this.
Correct.
And this is what we're trying to do,
Correct.
but it's not easy, because we weren't prepared. And when you're looking at, for example, New York, where now they have, you know, their health system on
Mm-hmm.
point, and then they've been like, uh, eh, taking this all the way through, because they are the United States right now have more than 20,000 deaths. So
Yes.
when we're looking at Haiti, we don't know exactly what's going to happen here, but we cannot say we're scared, but it's we don't know what to think right now.
Exactly.
That's why we're looking for help, and then we're trying to see if people can get together so they can understand exactly our situation, and get together with us to try to find a way so we can protect, the majority of the people here.
Wow. No, you have totally expressed yourself deeply. And what I understand is that you have tried with the rest of the government, with the different ministries, to follow all the global precautionary measures, as well as coming up with as much resources as possible for you to help the Haitian population. Now, how are you with the rest of the governmental um, ministers and the prime minister work this out on a global budget of $10 million? Because just thinking about New York, I think just for the medical center is 179 billion. That's just the medical resources that they have. So how are you able, what are your challenges with all this lack of resources and not having enough budget? How is the government working this out to bring the aid that you and the rest of the government work on to help the nation of Haiti?
We're trying our best, and then the private sector also has put themselves into the battle with the COVID-19 with the government, and then they have given some money. Some people have given face masks, and everybody. It's around the world. Everybody, are trying to put themselves together because this pandemic is not something that you can say that it's not going to get to you, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this pandemic knows name, knows color, knows anything, rich or poor. It's like everybody has to get together, so they can
Mm-hmm.
find a way to beat this, because we
Yes.
have to beat it.
Yes.
Uh, and we're trying our best, but like you said, with this lack of resources that we have, because since 2018 we have, like, massive political unrest here, and sometimes those protests, you know it's like they goes for months. And last year we had more than 3 months of
Mm-hmm.
lockdown. No one couldn't go to work. No one couldn't open their businesses, and it was crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
today, before we got here, unemployment was already rising, and now we with this confinement thing, it's like uh, there were a lot of people that wasn't working already, because small businesses, they all got bankrupt
Mm-hmm.
by the situation, the political situation, and things was fragile already. And then
Mm-hmm.
with the COVID-19 right now, it's like we're living hell right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I see that because, like you were saying, unemployment has been rising, because just for 2019, it was like 13% of unemployment. And then with all the unrest, I believe that number has increased it even more. And then, not just the aspect of unemployment, and then with the lack of resources, still the government need to try to provide for the Haitian population, but you're also having the factors of, okay, we going to follow all the precautionary measures, but as you follow some of the precautionary measures, the government still responsible in a way to make sure that the people is able to have at least funding or at least food, in order for them to stay home and stay indoor. So how is the government and yourself and your ministry is dealing with this challenge?
I don't know if I can say that, but this is kind of crazy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We have some politicians here, when they're talking about like the pandemic, they're saying like, it's like an hoax that, the government has put together so they can like, steal money. And then they're talking like, it's like, people doesn't need to believe in that because the pandemic is not real. And then we're trying our best to have the people understand that they've been playing with their lives. But
Mm-hmm.
we're trying our best. But those guys, they try to size anything and everything in this country. And then
Mm-hmm.
this is our biggest problem. But we're trying our best to have the people to understand that the pandemic is real,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to respect the measures because it's global.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to do what we have to do because it's right there in the Dominican Republic. It's in our border.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of the Haitians that are coming from the Dominican Republic by the northeastern part of the country,
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of dangerous for us here because we don't know how, with what they got here, and we don't even control them because we cannot control them. So we could know where they goes when they cross the border. And this
Mm-hmm.
is why, things are kind of dangerous for us. And that's why, the government is trying his best to
Mm-hmm.
control everything, and then to see how we can, fight
Mm-hmm.
the spread of virus, because it's not going to be easy for us if this thing got in, start doing what it's been countries.
Wow. Wow, this is this is really, in a way, what you're saying is that there is no way that the government can actually control the different borders, that's connecting from Haiti and DR. And because of that, there is a fear that it may be spread, and even greater than what you and the government expected, because you don't really have the government doesn't really have the control of who's coming when they come into Haiti, where they actually go, because it's not only one border there is that clear?
No, I'm not saying that we're not controlling the people in. We cannot, we don't have enough to test everybody that are, because we're talking about COVID-19 being declared in the Dominican Republic. We have
Mm-hmm.
more than 30,000 Haitian who have crossed the border.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't have enough resources to test everybody that are coming in.
My
And then
God.
this is the problem.
And then so as
And
they
this is the
come
problem.
in, wow. So as they coming in, even though that they are some of them, they have to actually go home and not knowing if they are sick or not, because there is a lack of resource, there's a lack of testing in order to
Exactly.
know. My
Exactly.
my God. So let me ask you a question. What is needed right now? What is the most immediate, need for the government and you as a minister for the global diaspora? What is that is the immediate need for the Haitian people?
Right now, when I'm talking about like, resources, we're talking about all the utilities that can help prevent, treat, and heal, people infected from the coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
So in immediately needs right now, well, I could say that first of all, we need, like, the test kits.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I was betting on numbers, I was going to say maybe 250,000
Okay.
test kits. And then
Okay.
we're talking about medical supplies and medical utilities. And we're talking about gloves, we're talking about face masks, we're talking about sanitizers,
Mm-hmm.
ventilators, all kind of medical utilities that can help, like I said before, prevent, treat, and heal people that are infected with the virus.
My God. So now, audience, you all hear the most immediate need for the forgotten nation that has been the first nation in among all blacks that was free and helped every other nation to have their freedom is now needed a global attention, that needed a global community to come together, because it will take not just the Haitian people, but it will take the friends of Haiti, and it will take the descendants of Haiti, and it will take the Haitian nationals to actually help to fight this. So this is a global community come together to support. And the immediate need, as the minister says tonight, is that they would need, just to touch the basis, at least 250,000 test kit. And then they would need all the medical supplies, which was encompassing the mask, the glove, the ventilator, the hand sanitizers, and all that it comes, for medical professional to have on, just to provide the care of those that is infected with COVID-19. Again, we calling out for all friends of Haiti and all Haitian descendants and all those that cares for the nation of Haiti. This is a call to action from the minister, because this is tragic. Let me ask you, how many tests do you guys have right now as we speak?
I don't think we have that much, and I think the last numbers that I've heard was around, like, 10,000.
My God, that's not enough for a population of 12 million people. That's not
Yeah,
even,
yeah, yeah,
my God. Wow,
yeah.
that's really, yeah, that's really need, the help really need to happen.
And
Now, go ahead.
yes, we also need the equipment for, like, medical personals, because we don't have a equipment for medical personals to treat the infected. So we are going to ask for medical equipment also,
Okay.
like,
Okay.
suits
Mhm.
for the medical personnel that are going to treat those people, because we don't have that much. Because the last time, I think the government was trying to place an order, it was only 1,000 they were trying
Mhm.
to get
Mhm.
for medical personnel, because of the lack of resources that we have.
Yes, understood, understood. My God, this is dire need. The nation of Haiti has dire needs. The friends of Haiti and all those that say they love Haiti, this is the time for them to shine. It is the time for them to come together as a global community to really help this nation to pull through, because this nation cannot go through this without getting the support that they need from the greater community, because the lack and the limited resources will be tremendous if we don't have the support of the greater community. And what I understand, Minister, how is the government dealing with the food situation? Because you talk about hunger earlier. As of right now, since the people haven't been working, and then they have to follow all these precautionary measures, what is being done about food? How is the challenges with the food and water situation right now?
right now, we government are trying to see how, we can help pregnant women,
Mhm.
elders, and children. And we're trying to have massive distribution of food and mask, because we're trying to have people here that can, like, give things to the government, and sometimes we sign contract with people that can, that selling foods, and we trying to help those people. But everything has to come from the Dominican Republic, and as our border are closed right now, there is a lack of very much things here, because uh, there were, like, those alimentary kits that we used to give. Today we have some product that we don't have them on site, and then we
Mhm.
just give the kits without them. You understand, those
Yes.
alimentary kits that we used to give. And we're trying everything to help, but because all our borders are closed, and the world is practically closed,
Yes.
so that makes things more difficult for us.
My God. So, in saying that, I understand. So, there is definitely making it really challenging to be able to provide for, the population of Haiti, especially the small children and the pregnant woman, as well as the elderly, because of not being able to have access to, food, and then not having enough food in the country to, sustain the nation itself without going outside. So if there is possibility to receive support such as in food, will you in the government be willing for that type of support, not just the support of
Definitely, most definitely.
okay, great, great, great. I like
Okay,
that.
and I can tell you today, I'm with you here. It's like, it's I'm trying to see if people can reach out to Haiti,
Yes.
and whatever that you know we can get from an helping hand, we are ready to receive it because we are in need.
Yes, yes. My God, I understand. I totally understand. And we will definitely make sure that, we make sure that the broadcast and the audience hear and work on them to be synthesized and understand now, the 60 minutes with this forgotten nation, which is Haiti. And Haiti has always been a supported help in the past and as well in the present, with the limited resource that they have. And we
This
know that,
is, excuse me, Dr. Baptiste. This
yes,
is the most funniest thing about Haiti.
hmm
We, on the days of our glories, we have
hmm
helped people around the world.
yes,
And then we got to a point where we've been left by everybody and forgotten by everybody.
my God.
This is
Hmm.
crazy.
Yes, 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 it is. And the most ironic thing is that when a nation is called by the greater power of the universe, is even if everybody forgotten, it will remind it at least one person. And that one person is you. Because for you to be on this broadcast today and for you to be in a position of always looking for support for this nation, it shows that the creator of the universe has somebody in mind. And I believe through your vocal cord tonight, as the minister of the Haitian living abroad, it will sing out to all the greater community, the global diaspora, and the global African diaspora to come together to bring much needed help in the time of need, because Haiti would have been there for them if Haiti seen them in that position, because that was always the position of Haiti. Once
Amen.
you are,
Amen.
yes, yes, and I'm so pleased and honored to have a person like you, because it showed me that one of the things that I have learned is that a true leader is a true servant. And tonight and throughout the week that we have been in communication, it showed me that you are a servant to the people. And that's what makes you an effective, good leader. And Haiti is glad to have you for what
Thank you
you are
very much.
doing.
Thank you very
Yes,
much. Thank you very
yes,
much.
yes. I would like to ask you a question, which all the diaspora need to know. What is that you want the Haitian diaspora to know or to relate to their family about COVID-19? Because from what you have been explaining and from the little clips that I have seen, it seemed like there was a greater population of the Haitian people that still feel that this is a fake virus. It's not really real. What would you want the Haitian diaspora to relate to their own people that's living in the island?
They have to try to explain to them where they at.
Mhm,
They have seen what COVID-19 has done,
mhm,
and then they have to follow whatever measures that the government is taking to protect them.
mhm.
Because it's not politics that we're doing today. We're trying to put ourselves together
Yes,
so we can beat the virus, because we all in the world are in survival mode now.
correct.
And I think this is what they have to do to help us here, because I was saying that we would like the diaspora,
Mhm.
when they're talking to their family in Haiti, to let them know that they have seen what COVID-19 has done where they are living, and to take it seriously, because it's not an hoax and it's not a game.
Mhm.
And ask them to follow, all the measures that the government is taking, because we are trying to protect lives here.
Yes,
And they have to understand that,
yes.
because the world is on survival mode. We
Mhm.
have to be on survival mode too in Haiti.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. I agree with you, and that's really important because right now everybody has to be able to follow the precautionary measure, because that's the only way that we can survive this. We cannot do our own thing. We have to be able to follow what's said forward to stop the spread of this virus. That's the only way. And it's very important that the audience relate to their family what is going on. And I would ask you, is it possible you can send that message that you just said in English, in Creole? Because sometimes our people still want to hear their Creole, to know that this is not something to play.
You want me to say it in Creole right now?
Yes.
OK. M'a demandé tout zami haïtien, tout frère ak sœm yo ki la sou podcast la, pou yo aider nous même dans gouvernement, fè moun yo comprendre que maladie qui relè coronavirus là, c'est pas un jouet. C'est pour tout bon, pas tant de politiciens k'ap di moun c'est pour gouvernement fait kob, c'est pour le gouvernement voler cob, il a parlé de corona. Corona existait. Moi-même qui a parlé avec nous là comme ministre là, j'ai des amis qui mourent là-dedans déjà, j'ai des familles qui mourent là-dedans déjà. C'est pour tout bon. Le nous parle la famille nous Haïti, dit autant pris. L'État mande yo retourne dans caille, retourne dans caille. Tant pris pas fait tête dure pour n'a dit ça n'gen mais nous pour nous retourner dans caille, l'État mande retourner dans caille là. Les y a bloc pays à sous nous pas mandé en ken moun, ça a ban kebe nan men nous les a bloc. Ça veut dire comprendre que jodi a c'est la vie nous n'a demandé nous pour nous gérer parce que coronavirus là c'est pour tout le monde et jusqu'à présent pour qu'on gagne remède pour lui. Grand remède li gagne c'est tendre ça yo dit nous fait et fait ça yo dit nous fait yo. Ça veut dire laver main nous tout le temps, pas nan bobo moun, pas nan bay moun lan main, respecter distance qui doit gagner entre tout le monde. Jodi a la dégager nous même si nous pas qu'on gagne masque pour mettre dans figure nous, arranger nous, chercher mouchoir, mettre dans figure nous là prendre la rue, protéger tête nous. Le nous gagne pour nous tousser dans coude nous quand coude tout matériel de sensibilisation gouvernement met dehors qui dit nous mais ça pour nous faire respecter tout bagaille gens que nous tendez au faire là parce que dans tout notre pays c'est ça tout le monde fait ça l'état dit tant pris le pas la famille nous dit tant pris pas fait tête dure parce que jodi a là c'est tête nous pour nous mettre ensemble pour nous ka gagner bataille ça et c'est main en main pour nous marcher. Quel politicien en opposition, quel politicien dans le gouvernement, quel riche, quel pauvre, nous tous devons mettre tête ensemble. Parce que je dis, il faut nous vivre. Nous tous captons de nous connaissons la vie. Dis-le, nous suspendons la vie. Merci. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that because this message will get very far. And sometimes our people need to hear that this is not a game. This is in your language. Understand, let your people know. Because if our people do not understand and that doesn't respect the precautionary measure, it's going to be tragedy. And we do not want tragedy to happen with the little limited resource that we have right now. I would like to ask you another question is what do you want the global diaspora to do for you?
Oh, I have already said it. Right now, the call of action for me, it has to be all the medical supplies and utilities to help prevent, treat, and heal people that are infected. Because, you know, we are trying to get stuff around the world, but things are not easy for us because of the lack of resources that we have here.
Correct.
But if today I have this chance, so I can talk to, you know, the global diaspora, I will ask them to reach out. Haiti needs them.
Yes.
And we're not asking for money. We're asking for utilities that can help us go through this so we can protect as many lives that we can.
Yes. Thank you.
This is my call for the diaspora, for the global diaspora.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, you hear it here on 360 Degree for the forgotten nation, Haiti. These are the immediate need that they need from the global diaspora. Not funding, but they need resources. And those resources starting from the first line professional medical responders to have what they need for them to be able to provide care, and also have the mask, the glove, the hand sanitizers, to provide for the mass population. And those are the support. And then also, food, staple food. The people need that because of the limited resource, and they are not able to get the thing that they need to provide for the people. So they're calling out for all of us in the global diaspora to come through and support this nation in a dire need at this moment right now. We ask that you hear this call of action from the minister itself, that representing 12 million people in Haiti. And I hope that you are synthesized and synchronized and ignited for you to support this cause. We have, before we go, we have one audience that been listening, and she would like to ask a question, Minister. So Kirby, you are welcome to ask questions that you receive.
Hello, Minister. Hi, I have just one question that came to mind, because I noticed that, I know Haiti, Haiti, and pretty much it's just in regards to the young people. Because a lot of young people know that it's here, but then again, they're not taking it as serious as it should be. What advice would you give to the young people? Because especially, at that range, I've been hearing as well in the news that young people are also very prone to it.
The advice is they need to listen. They need to listen. And it is very difficult when it's right now, we are let's say it's 54 minutes, after the curfew started. You see, I'm at my office right now.
Yes.
And I'm listening motorcycles, cars, going around my office.
My God.
And then I'm pretty sure that I'm going out to go home right now. There is a place by Delma 40 that I'm going to cross by. I will see bars open and people drinking, music, dancing. It's like they don't believe, and then whatever you say to them, they don't believe. It's like the other day, the police was trying to close a bar, and then the guy who was the owner is a cop, and he says, "You're not going to close my bar because I'm a cop."
My God.
So the guy that was supposed to have the people respect the curfew is the one opening his bar.
Wow.
My God.
And then if he had 20 clients, 7 of them was cops also.
Wow.
And this is the problem here. And when you're looking at those people, and then you're asking yourself, why do they choose to play with their lives? Because that's what they're doing. Okay. And when you try to talk to them, okay, we are going to close, and then you go by tomorrow, they open again.
My God. My God. Wow. Do you have any more questions from the audience, Kirby?
That's pretty much I have for now. It's just I have so many thoughts, because what you were mentioning about that, it reminded me of today, how they opened up Florida's beaches and everybody's out on the beach right now. And that whole situation that you just said is it just makes me wonder about, our future.
So in a situation like that, one of the things that I noticed with what's going on, it's an opportunity for the nations to rise or for the nations to fall. It's an opportunity for us to really come together to create a new paradigm shift, meaning that to create a new world that's better than what we had before. But in order for us to create that new world, which the minister had said earlier in our previous conversation, the populations of Haiti is 62% young people from 18 to 34. So
Yes.
that's a prime opportunity for them to be in a position, to create, to be in a process where they create, like the great philosophers, all the great philosophers, all the great scientists came through tragedies like this, where they use their intellect to come up with answers to modern problem, and the sciences and the literatures. So it is really a time where the nation really need to recalibrate themselves and say, you know what, we are a young population. The government asked for us to follow this precautionary measure, and it's not just from them. That's a global precautionary measure. Let's go ahead and follow it, and then at the same time, let's reset, recharge, and redirect. And during that time of reset, recharge, and redirect, we then gonna come up with a better world. We will have a better paradigm shift. So my question to you, Minister, do you see that with the nation of Haiti? Do you see that with the young people in the midst of all this adversity? If they use their energy correctly during the time of staying at home to be creative, do you see that they will fulfill a new paradigm for the islands of Haiti?
They don't want to stay inside. They don't want to stay inside because you see here, let me tell you something about my country. It's very deep what I'm going to say, but it's like, it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everything that you say to, Haitians,
Mm-hmm.
they think that, you're telling not to do something. It's because you just crazy, because no one can say what to say to somebody here, because everything is done by the name of poverty. Oh, it's because I'm poor, that's why you tell me that. It's because I'm poor, you want me to do this. It's because I'm poor, and then because they put, poverty in front of you, you have to let it go, because he, everything is done by the name of poverty.
My God.
It's like today, you say there is this, those precautionary measures that we have to respect.
Mm-hmm.
Say, no, I have nothing to eat at home. I'm going out. And then he's out because he's poor, because if he doesn't go out, he's not going to eat.
My God.
And because of poverty, they think they can do whatever they want to.
My God.
And then this is the biggest problem, because the majority are living in poverty. So it's like when someone put poverty in front of you, you cannot say anything to him because he has 10 backers.
Mm-hmm.
Because they all feel like, they're in the same situation. And if you can tell that to one of them, so you've been talking to everybody. And then once everything is done by the name of poverty, even order you cannot restore in the city. And this is our biggest problem.
My God. So the mindset of the young people need to change.
Definitely, definitely. And today it's like, when people are like looking at the problem, they just put it like a political problem. It's not a political problem.
Mm-hmm.
We can say that it's been like 33 years since the country is living in political turmoil. And today we can say that we have a failed state.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's not a president or a government.
Mm-hmm.
We all has contributed.
Yeah.
So we can get there.
My God. My
So
God.
now, to have people to talk, to make them understand, it's not going to be easy, because there is a sector here. You see journalism in Haiti. is the craziest thing that people can experience here, because they not educating, they are making money with their microphones.
My God.
And then they say what they want. Can you imagine 2 weeks ago, we had a journalist who took the street with 500 people.
My God.
And the one who was supposed to educate the people, to let them know with this virus, you cannot be on the streets together like that. You need to respect, social distances and stuff like that. And then the guys, he took the streets.
My God.
With 500 people, a type of political stuff, because he's planning on running for the president of the country.
My God. Wow. Wow. It's all about self-interest. It's still not about, it's still not about the people.
Exactly.
It's not about the people. It's about self-interest. And until we can work together as one unit, we're going to continue to be divided among ourselves. And that's the problem. So the mind has to be changed. And saying this, you have brought me to our final point. In that final point, what do you want? What is your final word to the global diaspora in the Haitian diaspora? I want you to not only say it in English, but you can also say it as well in Creole, because it's going to get to them.
Okay. I would like to say to the global diaspora,
yes,
that it's a pleasure for me to be on the podcast.
Yes.
So they know what's going on in Haiti and what we are expecting from them. And on my part, I would like to say thanks to you guys, because I know you want to help, and I know you are going to be what you can, I can say even your best, to help Haiti.
Yes.
And I'm with you, and you can count on me, because I love my country, I love my people, because we are we've been suffering since our independence. And I think today, because of this pandemic, the world order will change.
Yes.
And I think we have to stay together.
Yes.
So we can shift with this change, so we can put Haiti in a better place, because Haiti is just behind.
Yes.
And it's like, we've been victimized by a plot. And even though we are the poorest country of the hemisphere, we still are proud to be Haitian, because we have made history.
Yes.
Jodia, m'a dit tout le monde qui t'a tendé la haïtien par moi j'étais content là pour me capable de dire nous exactement qui Jean Bagay là et qui ça a passé. Et ça qui fait me plus content jodia, c'est le fait que Global Diaspora avec Chambre Commerce Caribéen li ban moi chance ça pour me capable parler avec ni Global Diaspora ni avec nous mêmes tout haïtien par moi au cap tendé là cap parler créole avec nous. On nous met tête nous ensemble. La caille mal en pile, mais la caille pas mal parce que gen mauvais gouvernement ou bien gen mauvais monde cap diriger, gen mauvais responsable. La caille mal parce que nous pas jamais voulons mettre tête nous ensemble pour nous la caille l'autre gens. N'a pas de gourmet entre nous sans arrêter, nous gourmet pour toute bagaille. Nous gourmet pour pouvoir, nous gourmet pour cob, nous gourmet pour opposition, nous gourmet pour toute bagaille net. Mais je dis à la m'croire avec Jean, maladie ça est dans le monde la faire ravage là, le monde va le changer. Ça veut dire l'ordre mondial là va le changer. Nous-mêmes, c'est pour nous arranger nous pour pendant la changer pour nous tout repositionner nous sur quatre mondial là pour nous capable ouais si côté on mettait dans tout yo fourré depuis après l'indépendance nous te ka retirer tête nous là et grand gens pour nous retirer tête nous là pendant n'a camper pour nous faire tête ensemble pour nous gommer coronavirus là entourer kembe tête ensemble ça pour nous tout changer Haïti parce que c'est nous-mêmes qui pour changer Haïti l'autre monde va venir changer le pour nous. Merci.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is very powerful. Thank you so much. And the final word from Minister Day is that he says that nobody can change our country, but it's going to take every Haitian national and Haitian descendants to come together to really change, the paradigm of the island. And this is a historical moment for us to play our cards right, so that when the shift of a new world come around, we will definitely be in the light, not in the dark. That is a very powerful statement. You hear it first in 360 Degree with Dr. Marie Asher Baptiste, sponsored by American Caribbean Chamber of Commerce, a very special broadcast by the Haitian government, Minister Day. The forgotten nation, Haiti, is asking for the global diaspora support. On today, anything that is needed, anything that you need, connect with us through our American Caribbean Chamber of Commerce, and we will definitely make sure that the minister receive the support that you have for the nation of Haiti. Again, thank you for being sensitive, and thank you for understanding the call to action by Minister Day. And again, Minister, we appreciate you for having the heart of a servant to serve your people. Thank you so much. And thank you, Ms. Kirby, and all the audience that did have questions through email. We will answer them as they coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you, Minister.
Thanks, doctor. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.